Hey guys, this is Eliza and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be starting a kind of series here on my channel, and that is testing recipes from Tasty. So Tasty is a sub-branch of BuzzFeed. A lot of their recipes are very interesting. So today we'll be trying their no-bake cookies and cream cheesecake. So I'll be following this recipe to the T to see like how it actually goes. So I'll go through the ingredients first. So the first ingredient is, I'm just reading it off my computer so I make sure I'm right, 36 chocolate sandwich cookies. So I have Oreos and I have 2 boxes of them. So hopefully there is 36 cookies. I've never counted how many cookies are in an Oreo box, I'm sorry. Then we need 5 tablespoons of butter, and I'm not fancy in putting shit in all those little bowls. I do not have that many matching little bowls to put shit in. Okay, you're getting the containers, okay? Then you need 3 cups of cream cheese, which is 800 grams. So I have cream cheese, it's upside down. I have cream cheese. I have 4 of these because they're 250 each. So I was 50 grams of having the right amount by buying 3. I had to buy a whole other one just to make sure I had 800 grams. So then you need 1/3 of a cup of sugar. For this one, I am guessing slightly because they just say sugar. They don't say what type. I mean, there's like multiple. There's icing, there's raw, there's brown, there's cane, there's white. Did I say white? I can't remember. But I'm using white sugar. That's the one I usually use to make cheesecakes. I'm gonna assume white sugar, but yeah. 1/3 of a cup. The next ingredient is 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. I have imitation vanilla. My grocery store doesn't have vanilla extract. Not the real shit. So we're working with this. This will be the first time I've ever measured vanilla. Usually it's just like, woo! And then next you need 1 cup of warm milk. So I have milk. This one is a hot one out of the cupboard. This is long life milk. And then last is 1 tablespoon of gelatin. So I have gelatin. I'm not sure if these come in tablespoons. Let me have a look what this says. 10 grams. What's that? How much is a tablespoon? I'm gonna have to Google that because these come in 10-gram packets, but I don't know how much a tablespoon is. So yeah, let's just get started. So for this, you won't actually be able to see my face when I'm recording because I don't have a fancy kitchen with a big island in the middle, so you can like, you know, put your camera over here and there. I don't have that. I have walls right in front of me. So you're just gonna see what I'm doing. You'll just see my hands. I'm just gonna go through each of the steps and let's do this. Okay, so I've got my laptop just here reading the instructions. So the first instruction is to separate the cream from the cookies into 2 different bowls. So first thing I need to do is count out 36 Oreos. Okay, so I have counted 36 cookies exactly. So now I'm just gonna separate the biscuit and put the cream in here. So the next step is to place the cookies into a plastic bag and crush them into fine crumbs with a rolling pin. Set aside 1/2 cup of the crumbs for later. So I'll move that out of the road. So I will be deferring from the recipe slightly because I don't have a rolling pin. So I'm gonna bash the shit out of them with a wooden spoon, basically. Giving up, and I'm gonna put them in my NutriBullet and blend the shit out of them. And that took 1/2 second. So obviously they're giving you the option of the rolling pin for those people that don't have food processors. But I don't have a food processor either, but I do have a NutriBullet, so, you know, that works. And now, we have crumbs. So now we have to leave 1/2 cup of crumbs for later. So where is, that's 1/3. Where is 1/2? Why do I not have 1/2? Okay, let's just use 2/4. Okay, so it's 1/4. and a half. Okay, so step 3, pour the cookie crumbs into a bowl and combine with the melted butter, mixing until the texture is like slightly wet sand. Okay, so I need to measure out my butter as I haven't melted it yet. So I need 5 tablespoons of butter. I need a microwave dish. This is the longest it has ever taken me to do butter. Okay, so now I'm just gonna melt this. Okay, so melted butter, I melted that for 35 seconds. So now I need to mix in with the cookie crumbs until texture of what slightly wet sand. Okay, well I'd say that's the texture of wet sand. I don't know about slightly wet, but it's combined, so that's the main thing. So now I need to press the cookie crumbs in an even layer into the bottom of a 9-inch springform pan. I don't know if mine is 9 inch. Okay, so it is 8.5 inches. So I don't have a big one. This is gonna have to do. This is a very thin layer of cookies. Okay, I'm just gonna wash my hands again and get my hands in there. Okay, now I'm gonna wash my hands again. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this one aside. So step 5, in a medium pot. Over low heat, okay, so a saucepan. Okay, a medium saucepan over low heat, mix together the cream cheese, all of the cream cheese, sugar, the cream from the cookies, and vanilla extract, stirring until there are no lumps. Okay, so before I start heating everything, I need to measure my Philly cheese, my cream cheese. So I need 800 grams. Oh, 801. That will do. Okay, so a medium pot over low heat, mix together the cream cheese. Let's get a low heat. I can't even turn it on the wall. Get a low heat going. So this one goes up to 9. So I'm gonna put it at 3. That's a low heat. I hate these things that say low heat. Like, especially in an oven. Like, put it in a moderate oven. What the fuck does moderate mean? Give me a number. Okay, so I'm gonna use a wooden spoon. So let's pop the cream. I maybe should have used a bigger pot. But oh well. Okay, so cream cheese, sugar. So I need a third. Is this a third? Yes, third of a cup of sugar. Third of a cup of sugar. I just went to put the lid on. The cream from the cookies. And the vanilla. So, how much do I need? A tablespoon of vanilla. That is a lot of vanilla. I don't know. I don't know if that's a lot of vanilla. Usually I just pour it in. So, it's probably less than I would have poured in. see what heat. I might bump it up to 4. I just realized I didn't bring my light over, so this might be a bit better. Okay, so the sugar is starting to melt down here. Just gonna try and, you know, break this up slightly. I hate working with cream cheese. This is not as quick and easy and pretty as it looks like on the Tasty video. I'm just saying. And theirs melts a lot quicker than this is. Maybe that cream cheese was softer. I don't know. At the moment, all I have is this shitty whisk. And that is because my good one broke. And I forgot to buy a new one today. So, well, I forgot to check if our shops had them. Would be a better sentence, considering. And yes, this whisk is shit. You can't really, the whisk doesn't move. So, next step, in a measuring cup, I'm using a measuring jug, mix the milk with the gelatin until dissolved. Okay, so I have a cup of milk. I'm just going to put this in the microwave for a couple seconds. So I need a tablespoon of gelatin. So these are 10 gram packets. A tablespoon is 20 grams. So I'm going to pour 2 packets in. I'm no expert, but I don't think that's what's meant to happen. And it's not dissolving. Does my milk have to be warmer? I'm gonna try milk warmer. Okay, so I think I've got the gelatin right. I put the milk in the microwave for a full minute, which is what I would consider hot milk, not warm milk, like the recipe says. And then I added 1 gelatin packet, stirred it, added another, and then ended up putting this back in the microwave for 30 seconds. And I think I've dissolved most of the gelatin, like looking underneath. I think I have. Okay, so I'm going to pour a little bit at a time, just so I can mix it, because this saucepan is not that big. So I didn't actually read out the last step that I just did. So pour the milk into the cream cheese mixture, stirring constantly until the mixture starts to bubble slightly. So I need to up the heat a little bit, I think, because I don't think it's going to bubble on this heat. Hey guys, so just a little interruption here. This clip I am just going to get rid of because I didn't realize at the time, like it didn't click at the time, the element on our stovetop actually stopped working. Like, it was hot, it was warm, but it wasn't hot, and I didn't notice at the time. I'm just like, oh, this is taking forever to fucking heat up and boil. I ended up putting it up to 6, and then it took forever, and it only just a little bit bubbled. I didn't actually get it to a point where it was, like, bubbling, and then I gave up and was like, I'm gonna put this in the fucking thing now, we're done, we're good, we're good to go. But I realized just now, it just clicked as I was filming this. It is currently nearly 9 o'clock at night, and I only just put my dinner in the oven because of that element. I was trying to cook sweet potato in water on that stovetop, and it was in there for like 15-20 minutes and it still hadn't boiled. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this taking so long? I'm like, I added salt, the fucking lid's on it, what is happening? And then I'm like, I wonder if the element's not working. And I pulled the saucepan off. Stupid me. I touched the element. It wasn't even hot. Like, it was warm, but it wasn't hot. So I figured out that element wasn't working. So I don't think it didn't affect the recipe whatsoever, but usually you'd put it on like low heat and it'd boil. But yeah, it just didn't happen. So I'm just going to get rid of this clip completely because it's literally like 15 minutes, 20 minutes of me trying to get this thing to fucking boil. So, skipping that. So, the next step is pour the mixture over the cookie crust in the springform pan using a spatula or a spoon to smooth the top. So, let's just pour this in. So, I've smoothed the top as much as I can. And the next step is to sift the saved cookie crumbs on top of the cheesecake in an even layer, then refrigerate for at least 4 hours. So, this is not the prettiest thing. I used this to cook dinner last night, but I need something over it so I don't get cookie crumbs everywhere. So, we're just going to pour these in. So, I have the cookies over the top, and then the next step is to refrigerate for at least 4 hours. So, I'm going to pop this in the fridge. I'm not sure that was focused, I'm sorry. I'm going to pop this in the fridge and then I'll check it in exactly 4 hours and see whether I think it needs a bit longer, and I will leave it in if it needs longer. So yeah, I'm just gonna pop this in the fridge downstairs. Okay, so I've just got the cheesecake out of the fridge, so now is the moment of truth. We'll open it and see how it is. So, come on, get off that edge. Ha! That looks awesome! It worked, it's all good. Okay, so now is the time to cut it and see what it tastes like. And I also will be interested to see how this base went. As you saw, it was very thin. So, that's about the middle. Okay, so I didn't cut properly and I ended up a little bit down here. Okay, so the base isn't actually as thin as I thought it was. It actually is pretty decent. I didn't cut properly and I missed this bit here. But hey, I'm no expert. Okay, so this is what it looks like. As I said, the base looks pretty good. I'm missing the end because I didn't cut it properly. Okay, so now for the taste test. So, I reckon my recipe is better. I mean, it's still nice. It's not sweet. So that's good. So in regards to the recipe, cheesecake in my face. So in regards to the recipe, there's a couple things that could be done differently, like explaining how to do the gelatin, and it needs to say like hot milk, not warm milk, because warm to me is like, you know, you can stick your finger in it but it's warm. But that didn't work with the gelatin, just went chunky. And there was another thing, that's right, the base. I was iffy about the base, but the base is fine. So yeah, it's not too sweet, but the cream kind of overpowers the chocolate, which I think is why I don't like it as much as the one I make. The one I make it's not sweet either, but it is a little bit sweeter than this. But also the two parts of the cheesecake, like the chocolate, like the Oreo, and the cream kind of even out a little bit more, whereas this one, the cream is a little bit more overpowering. So I'll try and write the recipe for mine down below if I could find it. I did get it off a website, but I don't know where. It was about 5 years ago. So I'm not sure where I got it, but I'll try and find it. If I can, I'll leave a link down below in the recipe. But this one was pretty good. A couple changes you need to make, and I probably would add a little bit more sugar just to make it that little bit more sweet, because while you don't want too sweet with the chocolate, you still want a little bit sweet, and this one's just a little bit too not sweet. But I think yeah, it was a better proportion with the cream to the Oreo, I think it'd be a bit better. But yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Something new on this channel. Obviously this channel's new. Yeah, something new, and I love cooking, so there'll be more food videos coming soon. I can guarantee that. But yeah, that is it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.